So we're about 2 weeks into the election, and for some reason Stephen Harper's Conservatives are not only in the lead, but it's quite possible that they're heading for a majority. Harper himself is certainly capitalizing on that these days. Now, the thing I can't understand is who in their right mind would want this guy to have virtually unchecked power, especially since another poll says that half the country thinks he has a hidden agenda. Now, I can understand people having more confidence in Harper's leadership. I've said before that I think most of the opposition leaders are pushovers. But the problem is that Stephen Harper's idea of strong leadership is to run roughshod over anyone who disagrees with him. I've already gone on about how he's filed groundless lawsuits against the opposition in Ottawa, and done everything he could to censor ours who happen to be progressive and left-wing, so I'll spare you from a repeat. But we are talking about someone who has shown ever since he became Prime Minister that he doesn't take openness, honesty, accountability to the public, or even obeying the law very seriously. In fact, at recent press conferences, he has used the RCMP to remove hecklers and block the media from asking certain questions. Frankly, it's for reasons like this that I don't think politicians should ever be given honorable as a title. Once you apply it to power-hungry sociopaths who lie to the public and subvert democracy on a daily basis, the term loses all meaning. This is even more true when some of these people will actually joke about outbreaks that have killed a dozen or so people inside of a month. For that matter, since we all know that the economy is in shambles right now, trusting Harper to fix it makes no sense at all. His government repeatedly and openly sat back and did nothing while factories across the country closed shop, whether they happen to be losing money or not. His pre-election grant, to automakers is for them to make large engines for bigger vehicles, when part of the reason they're in so much trouble in the first place is because there's no demand for the damn things. And despite reputation to the contrary, I have to point out that in recent memory, it's actually been conservative governments who've been worse at handling public money, while the liberals have cleaned up the mess, as much as I hate to admit it. And another thing, while I have dealt with conservatives who were quite respectful and polite, I really wish more of them would actually respect other people's opinions. I can't begin to tell you how many times a right-wing pundit has called me a liar, an idiot, a criminal, immoral, or the devil himself just because I happen to have an opinion of my own that disagrees with him, and I can actually back it up. Now, just because I'm young and have a certain amount of free time on my hands doesn't mean that I'm stupid and a brat. I try to give everyone else some leeway and respect, so please return the favor. It's called acting like a grown-up. But in any case, there is cause for some hope in all of this. The other day I saw in the news that 2 of Harper's news conferences in a row were obstructed by protesters. And while some papers, such as the National Post, have reader responses that sound disturbingly close to endorsements for martial law, pretty much every other paper I've read lately has a ton of complaints about Harper and the Conservatives. I'm not counting on the Tories to get tossed on their asses like they were after Brian Mulroney had his turn screwing us over, but as long as he's taking down a few notches... Enough said.